growing very rapidly around the world. We've been, over the last 5 years, the fastest growing of the major hospitality companies. We've got the largest pipeline of any of the major hospitality companies on a global basis. In Africa, where we've been present for many years, starting in North Africa with the Nile Hilton over 50 years ago, we began our presence, and we have more recently been, focusing in sub-Saharan Africa. Thus, the reason for my visit, that we're really following the demand of our customers.
Of course, with any investment that gets made, focus is on the return to be reaped at the end of the day. I mean, we've got to be very optimistic about those ROI levels moving forward within the current economic environment. What's your sense of the industry on the continent?
Yeah, well, we think the economics are great if we do it properly with the right products in the right locations. And the way our model works is we're working generally with third-party capital. So what we bring to the table is world-class brands, starting with the Hilton brand, the #1 brand in customer awareness in this region of the world and every region of the world, and all the operating know-how and all of the commercial engines, if you will, to drive revenues and drive premium market share. And what we match those skills with is local partners that are our real estate partners that invest the capital, that have the local knowledge to, the right locations and understand how to get entitlements and get properties constructed. We put all that together with, if we do our job, which we do, and they've done their job properly, it ultimately delivers great returns. So far in our experiences in South Africa and in sub-Saharan Africa generally, over many, many years, the returns have been very, very good, driven by basic fundamentals, which is, the demand has been very strong. And while there have been additions to supply and markets ebb and flow year to year, the long-term fundamentals have been good.
Of course, this partnership strategy or model that you've highlighted increases your competitive edge in a certain way. You can't be the only one identifying this kind of opportunity on the continent itself. So give us a sense of the competitive landscape that you're operating in.
I think the advantage we have is that we have been here a long time, that we have become part, kind of the culture of this part of the world. We have obviously great brand awareness. We have customer loyalty that's been driven over decades and decades. And as a result, we think that's what's been able to help us drive greater growth than the competition and greater returns. It's not that in the end we're the only ones doing it. We think we're doing it better.
What role do you see the group playing in the future development of the various cities that you're operating in? Because that will, to an extent, affect the kind of customers you manage to get to your hotels.
It always has. If you think about it, Hilton Worldwide has been a pioneer for the last 100 years almost. We've been in existence 93 years. We're have always been at the cutting edge of being in emerging markets and driven really by our customers' needs of where they want to be, and becoming embedded in those communities and becoming part of the development of those communities in terms of employment opportunities, bringing in international travelers and the like, given the strength of our brand and the awareness and the loyalty that global international travelers have to our brand.
So when you're looking at criteria for locations and where you're going to be setting up shop, so to speak, how much consideration do you pay to infrastructure and the kind of support that there is on that basis, whether it be basic, power lines, electricity?
It's pretty critical, right? Yeah. I mean, in order to be able to, operate and ultimately deliver returns, we have to have infrastructure. We have to have, the airport, rail, ability to get people in, road systems. We have to have all of the power, water, and all of those things. So, not shockingly, that's a major consideration for us. While we're pioneers, and we will very frequently be at the cutting edge of emerging markets, there's a certain base level of infrastructure that we need to have there, or we can't succeed in serving our customers or delivering returns to our owners.
Mm-hmm. Taking a look at the regulatory environment, is it supportive enough of industry?
I think so, yeah. I've very much so. I've had meetings and will continue to have meetings with a lot of government officials throughout the trip. I did in Ethiopia, hopefully we'll hear in South Africa, Namibia, and many other places that I've traveled around this region of the world. And I would say, I think there is a really deep understanding of the benefits that travel and tourism can bring to the community. It can bring in international travelers, obviously, create exposure for these markets for the rest of the world, helps with the branding of these markets for the rest of the world. It helps with jobs, most importantly, education, because of all the training and development that goes on that we do in these markets with the team members that join us, recognizing that in all of these destinations where we open, the vast majority of the people are local people.
Any deterrents to investing in Africa? What are some of the worries that possibly keep you up at night as you pursue this expansion strategy?
The number one thing I wouldn't say I worry about that is important, frankly critical for us, is safety and security, not just for our customers but our team members. So I obsess over that in terms of where we go, both markets, in specific locations within markets, working with local officials to make sure that we're always comfortable that we can provide a safe and secure environment for our customers and our team members, because in the end, we're in the hospitality business. If people don't feel safe and secure with us, they're not going to be real loyal to us, and they're not going to continue to stay with us. So as we think about not just this region of the world, but frankly, all of the more of the emerging markets, we're very focused on working with local governments to make sure that that we have the right environment. So political stability and safety and security are always of paramount concern.